boot camp at Newport, Rhode Island in March of 1951. It was difficult. Before I went in, I was in the Civil Air Patrol, so I had a little training on marching and maneuvering and all that stuff. So when I got to boot camp, I was made acting petty officer. So I had it pretty easy in boot camp. I didn't have to go through a service week or anything like that. It was different, getting used to living with other fellows that I'd never known before, but we all got along well. And from there, in I think it was May, I went aboard the USS Leyte. Well, coming from Connecticut, getting on a bus, then a train to Norfolk, Virginia, walking down a pier and looking at the starboard side of the ship, I was amazed. I couldn't believe that this thing could float. It was, to me, it was awesome. It was a big boy. Well, when I got aboard ship, I went right to the engineering department. From the engineering department, I went to A Division, which took care of all the auxiliary equipment aboard ship, and I was stationed in what they called ice machines, which took care of all the refrigeration and the water coolers and any air conditioning that we had at that time aboard the carrier. One of our second-class petty officers, I remember, they were going to paint our machine room, which was 6 decks below, and they decided to go out and get some paint at the paint locker and an air compressor and try to paint the compartment, which they did. And the next morning we woke up, went down there, and everything was white. Went on a flight deck, we saw 2 prints where the guys laid down. They were covered in white paint. So needless to say, we had to clean all the bright work. It was a mess. We had to clean it up. That was, to me, was funny. Being in A Division, we took care of all the refrigeration, and we had keys to the lockers, and we ate pretty well down below. Not on the best deck, but we ate well. One night, I would say, we were all down there, maybe 7 of us. We were having steak and eggs, using chief's plates, and there was a ladder on our left side coming down, and all I saw was khaki pants coming down. It was the executive officer who was a commander, the chief master at arms, another lieutenant commander, and we just froze, and we were caught. So they left. They said they'd take our keys away from us, so we couldn't do any more work in their freezers. But that ended shortly after, because we had to do some defrost work, and we had to get back in there, so we got our key back. In the Mediterranean, we ended up in Naples, and my family is from that area, so I got to get 3 days leave and visited my parents' hometown, which was nice. Seeing that I had a relative who was on the military police in Naples, I went ashore to the police station and saw him, and he gave me a car and a driver, and I had a guided tour through all these places, police escort. So that's how that ended. I saw Naples, Sorrento, Pompeii, all those places, plus my parents' hometown, which the driver took me to all those places. I brought him aboard ship one day. That was a funny story. His name was Vito DeSantis, and he was at that time he was a captain, and he had a couple stars on his shoulder. We're coming up the gangway, and the lieutenant in charge was very excited. He thought he had to have the side boys out, pipe them aboard and all that. And I advised him didn't have to worry about that. He was relative. But he turned out to be a general, and he was attached to NATO after.